Hello again. I'm Nikki, and I want to talk about a script I wrote called Writing and Romance. It's a romantic comedy about these two competitive writers who try to fight for this position to be at one of the biggest magazines in the country, supposedly the New York magazine. So you have Myra and Michael as the two leading stars, basically, and the hero, I guess I'd start with, is Myra. She's Michael and Myra both have these similarities. They've both been affected by things that happened in their past. Myra kind of had it where the dad was controlling and the mom very submissive to the dad. She loved him so much, she let him do whatever. And then Michael, on the other hand, his backstory is that, his dad loved his mom, like would have done anything for her. And she ends up leaving because, she wasn't satisfied, she wanted a different life and so on and so forth. And so this happened when he was a little boy. So his father ended up teaching him that, never fall in love because women, they use you. Typical. And so Michael ends up growing up as a player. He uses women, he sleeps with women, co-workers, women on the street, so to speak, women he run into every day. And he's very handsome at that, so it's easy for him to get women. And Myra just kind of plays the single card. She doesn't want to date. She has this thing, she just can't get over how her dad just didn't treat her mom the way she deserved to be treated. Not equal. He was higher, more superior than her. And so she lives a single life so that she could try to find her fairy tale guy. But, living in the real world, that's not exactly how it goes. And now, Michael and Myra have these two best friends. Myra's best friend is Lauren, and Michael's best friend is Jerry. And these two best friends have a situation. The script starts out pretty much with Michael. He's in a panic, kind of. He's worried, and he's driving to this bar, to find his friend Jerry. He gets there, and Jerry tells him about how he caught his wife cheating. And Michael's already a player, so he can see the problem in this. And the same thing goes for Myra. Laura caught her husband cheating, and it's over between them, so now she's getting ready to face divorce. And with this new material, Myra picks up this inspiration. She has a new inspiration for her work as a writer, and she writes a book that bashes men and how unfaithful they are, even though their woman gives them everything, even though they're committed and so on and so forth. And Michael does the opposite. He writes a book bashing women, saying that women are no good, they want everything from you, but that's never enough, and the second you don't live up to what you're supposed to, then you're considered a bad man and not good enough. And so, Myra and Michael, they meet for the first time. After they buy each other's book and read it, and they hate it, then they meet. And Michael pretty much bashes Myra's book, saying how it's a load of crap, there's nonsense in there. And they start to develop this kind of bickering thing, brother-sister. They're neck and neck at each other, because they're both these strong, independent people in their own lives. And, they've been through this thing in their past, and so they're not going to just let the opposite sex come in and try to tell them how to run things. So they both have their own ideas and things like that, and that's how that happens. And so they both also find out that a writer from this New York magazine has been let go, or left, and now both of them are going to try to go for it. And so when they both find out about that the other one is getting this position, they try to come up with their own tactics of getting it. And Michael, as a player, he finds out that the editor, the big boss at the magazine, is a woman. So he's going to use everything he's got, pretty much charm, good looks, and charisma to try to win this woman over. And Myra has her own tactics. You know, she's going to use her sense of professionalism that she prides herself for to try to make a good impression. And she thinks that her work as a writer proves that. And eventually it does. It gets her on a local news station in the town, so a lot of people know about her work and things like that. And so one day, I guess, Lauren and Jerry, the best friends, they go on a singles cruise. And they meet on the singles cruise without, you know, Michael and Myra knowing. And nobody knows who each other are, nobody knows the connections, anything. Everything is pretty much kept apart, only the audience will know. And so they come back from the singles cruise and decide to do a double date. Myra thinks she's getting ready to be hooked up with this sexy guy, you know, that her friends hooked her up with, and the same Michael thinks he's getting ready to meet this hot writer and things like that. And then when they get to the restaurant, they find out who each other are, and it explodes. It's just ridiculous. Now that their best friends are dating, now they have to deal with each other and still try to compete for the spot in the year. And it eventually goes, and there's a lot of fighting and things like that, but then they take a weekend trip up to the mountains, and this is kind of where everything pretty much comes out in the blue. All the secrets, everything in the dark comes to light. Michael is exposed of flirting with the editor, and now that him and the editor was dating, that's how he got his foot in the door. He used sexual advances to get in, and it pretty much hurts Myra. But it also kind of brings them together when they learn about each other's backstory to see that they have more in common than they thought, that they've both been affected by their past. And it's important to know just how big of a role your past tends to play with you. And it plays a major role because a lot of things that happen in the past can shape who you are today. You can end up mistrusting certain types of people because of some things that someone done in the past. And so, but the script is funny with the arguing and the bickering and the brother-sister fighting, and then it's cute at the same time how they learn to overcome their backstories and to see how these two unlikely people can really come together and be something greater than they were by themselves. And that is all for my script writing and romance.